Can you believe we're already at the first Friday in Child Month 2021? Boy, time sure flies. As you may have guessed, the pages of today's Jamaica Magazine are loaded with tips and information on how we can better serve our children and young people. Trust me, you don't want to skip any of today's child-friendly pages, so don't go anywhere.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Friday, May 7, 2021. The gun court is on track to be up to date with all cases by December of this year as the Judiciary records significant reduction in case backlog across the court system. While making his contribution to the 2021-22 sectoral debate this week, Justice Minister Delroy Chuck said current trends in the parish and gun courts were indicating clearance rates of over 90%.
In 2020, the overall clearance rate for criminal cases in the parish courts was 96.47%. 7 of 13 parish courts had a clearance rate of more than 90%, and the hearing date certainty was 84%. This means that over 95% of cases, Madam Speaker, will be resolved in a timely manner.
The minister says significant progress is also being made in the Home Circuit Court.
The Home Circuit Court has seen a clearance rate of over 70% during the last 2 years. This means that matters are moving faster in the Home Circuit Court than in previous years. Once again, Madam Speaker, this is the best position that this court has been in recorded history.
Minister Chuck says the current trends in disposing of cases within 12 months places Jamaica well ahead of the international standard for case management and clear-up. A comprehensive national survey of squatter settlements is now underway. It is being carried out by the Ministry of Housing to accurately ascertain the extent of squatting on the island. Portfolio Minister Pernell Charles Jr. made the disclosure during Tuesday's sitting of the House of Representatives. He says geospatial technology and mobile mapping are being used to collect, process, and store data on households and their associated settlements. The result has been a reduction in time and cost, as well as easier processing of the data.
We have completed a total of 25,202 surveys across 219 settlements, Madam Speaker, in Clarendon, St. Ann, Manchester, Trelawney, Hanover, and St. Elizabeth. Data collection has already commenced in St. Mary, Portland, and St. Thomas. The trends extrapolated from the surveys already confirm that squatting in some cases result from the need to be close to economic opportunity, especially in areas where there is an inadequate supply of affordable housing.
Minister Charles Jr. says the settlement data will inform the squatter management policy and implementation plan, which is now being developed. Public schools across Jamaica will now be allowed to make copies of licensed work and have access to digitally published materials within a secured space. The development follows the signing of an agreement between the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information and the Jamaica Copyright Licensing Agency, JAMCOPY, on Tuesday. Education Minister Favour Williams says the agreement is for an initial period of 3 years and is to be renewed at the end of the first term.
By acquiring this license, schools across Jamaica will be able to make copies of published works on the terms and conditions set out in the license. So, of course, as you can imagine, we will ensure that schools have the information about the terms and conditions. We will lay them out so that they're easy to understand and that our children will be so educated.
The Jamaican Copyright Licensing Agency is a reproduction rights organization established by copyright owners to administer the reproduction rights in their published works. It has a mandate for several countries across the Caribbean, the Americas, Africa, Europe, and Asia. The Agriculture Ministry is ramping up its research and development efforts to satisfy the demand for honey and its byproducts across the island. Portfolio Minister Floyd Green says the apiculture unit has carried out 2 levels of hygienic testing on 30 colonies of bees, from which 5 queens were selected. Production of daughter cells is now in progress with the intent to supply the market with quality breeding material. Minister Green says government has identified the beekeeping industry as one of the areas in which the country could develop a competitive advantage, as there is a significant demand for products from the sector. To that end, he says over $30 million was provided to 23 beekeeping projects island-wide in 2020 through training and capacity building. Additionally, in a COVID-19 response effort, 112 beekeepers have benefited from a $5 million grant. It is for farm feeding support to preserve the life of approximately 12% of the beekeeping stock across the island. And finally, the House of Representatives on Tuesday paid tribute to late parliamentarian, senator and minister Ambassador Anthony Johnson, who passed away on April 28 at age 82. The ambassador, economist and lecturer was remembered for his sterling contribution to nation building.
He was, Madam Speaker, an outstanding individual. But more than that, I'm sure everyone who knew him, especially members of the House, would agree that he was a gentleman, an incredibly friendly personality. But above all of that, he was a man of great intellect and great integrity.
He was a gentleman. He was somebody who brought to the politics or the political life of the country a certain standing, a certain approach that was in the best traditions of our democracy. And we should honor him.
A former member of Parliament for North East St. Catherine, Johnson held several diplomatic posts. In addition to serving as Deputy Prime Minister, he also managed many portfolio responsibilities in government. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
The government of Jamaica is introducing shared corporate services to revolutionize the way it operates. Shared corporate services will utilize the latest technology, leaner processes and service standards to drive efficiency and effectiveness in the public sector. The Transformation Implementation Unit is working to streamline public services in 7 operational areas: human resource management, information and communication technology, asset management, procurement, finance and accounts, public relations and communication, as well as internal audit. Shared corporate services is a tried and proven way of improving the delivery of public services. The government of Jamaica is transforming to serve its citizens better. We're building a better public sector for all. Brought to you by the Transformation Implementation Unit.
First up in our Child Month agenda is a breakdown of the major plans and objectives of the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information for this fiscal year. Lots of transformational initiatives are in store. Learn more next.
You understand that if education succeeds, Jamaica succeeds.
With that in mind, numerous plans have been laid out to achieve Grade A across all portfolios in the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information in the 2021-2022 fiscal year. The Ministry's top priority for the information portfolio is to see the full implementation of the switchover from analog to digital free-to-air television.
Approximately 83.7% of Jamaicans still use analog free-to-air television service with very limited channel choices. Fully digital free-to-air television services will significantly improve the number of channels, thus allowing Jamaicans wider access to information. We have begun the process to transition and expect that by 2023 the process will be completed.
In order to effect change for Jamaica's younger population, the Ministry is working with partners to draft a long-term and good parenting campaign.
We want to change the deeply embedded culture of corporal punishment of our children towards more positive, alternative forms of discipline that include removing privileges, timeout, talking about why the action was wrong, and reasoning. Yes, reasoning.
A new adoption policy is expected to be tabled in the next fiscal year. Similarly, there are plans to amend Section 24 of the Child Care and Protection Act.
On the instruction of Cabinet, we have drafted an urgent submission to amend the Child Care and Protection Act 2004 to remove an aspect of Section 24 under which a court may make a correctional order in respect of a child brought before the court. This will be repealed and replaced with an option for the court to make a therapeutic order.
In a landmark move, 211 will soon be activated as a dedicated helpline for children at risk or for anyone who wishes to report child abuse.
This helpline will be manned 24 hours by child care professionals and will be a significant addition to the child protection ecosystem.
The ministry is also looking to establish an early warning alert for the child protection sector.
Right now, the CPFSA depends on reports of cases of abuse or neglect in order to activate the team. This is too late, and so that's why we are already working on some strategies that will allow us to get data to create an early warning signal to alert us when something has started to go wrong in the lives of our children.
In order to achieve transformational change in the education sector, character education will be institutionalized in all schools to instill good moral values in students.
In educating our children about their character, we want to teach them about their rights and duties as citizens, what it means to be a Jamaican. We want to teach them about a culture of peace. We want to educate them on tolerance and the development of intra- and inter-community social partnerships.
107 early childhood institutions that have been assessed by the ministry will be transitioned to government infant schools. A student attendance registration app will be developed to collect information in real time. Specialist teachers will be transitioned to the island's worst performing schools. An online repository of lesson plans will be created for teachers. A revised teacher appraisal model will be implemented. The MYHR plus human resource, payroll and pension management system, as well as the Education Management Information System, EMIS, will be fully implemented across the sector. And government will take steps to sponsor extra lesson classes for students in need.
To provide more teaching and learning opportunities for our children, especially those from economically disadvantaged homes.
During the 2021-2022 fiscal year, the ministry will be better able to govern the higher education sector following the submission of the draft Jamaica Teaching Council Bill to the Attorney General's office. And there will be increased quality assurance and monitoring of higher education institutions as a result of Cabinet's approval for the development of a national higher education policy.
With the right focus, our education sector in Jamaica can break out of the cycle of poor student achievement in education. Let's get to work.
We are children and we have rights. We have a right to be protected,
provided for,
and included. Don't beat me up, don't belittle me, and please don't molest me.
I am under 13. I should not be working for a living. That is child labor. It is illegal.
Stop leaving me alone. I am too young to provide for myself. I need your guidance.
Protect our nation's children. They have rights too. To learn more about children's rights, call or visit the offices of the Child Development Agency.
I soar. I strive to overcome adversities with resilience is the theme for Child Month 2021, which was officially launched on Tuesday, April 13. Listen now as Chair of the National Child Month Committee, Dr. Pauline Mullings, tell us more about what this year's theme is all about.
I soar. I strive to overcome adversities with resilience. The theme for 2021 follows nicely on the heels of the 2020 theme. Unplug negativity, connect positivity, think. The members of the National Child Month Committee endeavor to refocus, motivate, and empower particularly our children, to strengthen their resolve to persevere and achieve despite the pandemic, despite hardship, despite limitations, and soar to higher dimension, going beyond the familiar, charting new territories.
During the launch, there were performances from children and young people, as well as greetings and well wishes from children's rights entities, sponsors, and State Minister in the Ministry of Education, Robert Morgan.
I want to thank the National Child Month Committee. I want to thank all the private sector sponsors, the government agencies, the non-government agencies, all the persons who continue to work really hard under trying circumstances in the interest of our children. I believe Child's Month presents a grand opportunity for us all to recommit to the interest of our children.
A host of virtual child-friendly activities have been announced for the month, starting with the National Church Service on the first Sunday in May.
Our annual church service will be held on Sunday, May 2 at the Linstead Pentecostal Tabernacle, 24 Gillett Street, Linstead, St. Catherine. This will begin at 9:30 a.m. and will be streamed live on their Facebook page. Other churches across Jamaica are encouraged to dedicate the first Saturday or Sunday in May as their official Child Month service.
The Child Month Committee is imploring church members to make their services as children-centered as possible by having the children directly involved. Why not have children offer a word of prayer, read a scripture, or render an item in a song or poem, or even reflection surrounding the theme? As usual, May 21st, the third Friday in the month, will be our big day, National Children's Day. This is the day we all wear yellow.
Treat the children, especially on that day. Boost their spirits. Give them tangible gifts. Reaffirm their worth. Reaffirm your love for them. Help them to soar. For this year, we'll be hosting Picnic Party 2.0. Here, our children 6 to 17 years old are asked to display their talents, whether they'll be singing, dancing, delivering poetry, or playing an instrument, as they give their best interpretation of our theme. I strive to overcome adversity with resilience. Yes, I soar. To help keep focus on the theme and spur us as adults into action, the committee has created a calendar for the month of May with 31 tips to help parents, adults, and to guide children in soaring. I encourage us to be deliberate as we put in action these daily tips. Share your stories, pictures, etc. on our social media. And don't forget to use the hashtag.
Our Child Month celebrations will culminate fittingly with a day of prayer on Wednesday, May 26.
Selecting this day is geared towards asking God's intervention in the atrocities and attacks that are taking place against our children and families. We encourage all churches to dedicate a period of that day to fasting and prayer, especially for the nation's children and their families.
Remember, for this Child Month, strive to overcome adversities with resilience. I soar, you soar, we soar. For more details about Child Month 2021, contact the National Child Month Committee at 876-909-5859 or email ncmcja@gmail.com.
Is your facility approved for COVID-19 testing? The Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, through the JANAC Accreditation or Pre-Accreditation Approval Program, validates labs and point-of-care testing facilities such as medical centers. Accreditation safeguards the quality of test results and consumer well-being. Use a JANAC-accredited or PAP-approved facility for your tests, and let's defeat COVID-19 together. Contact the Jamaica National Agency for Accreditation, confirming competence, providing confidence in the marketplace.
We all know that parenting can be a challenging task, especially when you're a single parent dealing with rebellious teenagers or stubborn toddlers. This is why the National Parenting Support Commission was established by government to offer parents the support they need.
Wouldn't it be great if children came into the world so well adjusted or with manuals, therefore eliminating the need for parental discipline? This is not the case, however. Parents usually apply their methods or they depend on strategies taught throughout generations to guide their children.
8 in 10 Jamaican children in the 2 to 14 years age group experience violence as a form of discipline.
Coercive parenting involves the physical administration of pain as punishment. It also includes the use of harsh language that has the potential to hurt children's feelings and affect their general self-esteem and development. It also fosters aggression, because what you're really teaching children is that when there is an issue, we must resolve the issue through harshness, through aggression, through coarse language. There's a direct correlation between coercive parenting and the aggression that we see actually in society.
Damaging disciplinary practices have moved outside of the home and into the national consciousness.
The time has come for the Parliament to have a debate on this issue and finally declare corporal punishment at an end, both within public institutions and as a means of discipline available to parents. I think it would be a forward-leaning step in making a stance against violence generally, and it would send a powerful message about the state respecting the inviolability of the person, whether or not that person is a child or an adult.
Children need guidance, and many wonder if not with the rod, then how? Enter the National Parenting Support Commission, NPSC, an agency of the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information. The ministry established the commission in 2012 to provide parents with the requisite skills and tools to raise children.
We work at 3 tiers. We work at home, school, and community. Our first and most important priority, however, is to ensure that we're fostering the home-school relationship. We must ensure that parents as key stakeholders feel involved in the entire process of educating their children.
Now, to do this, the Commission assists parents in several ways, including providing psychosocial support, assisting parents with understanding the teaching-learning process, and conducting parenting education programs.
Through our effective parenting courses, we push proactive strategies. In other words, you are going to put structures in place before behaviors that you don't desire actually show.
Parents and guardians should consider the child's developmental stage when determining the best method of guidance.
A child who is very young, we encourage play. The child must be playing, and even the teaching learning processes must include play, because this is how they develop their imagination, their creative skills. This is how they also learn to resolve issues and to problem solve.
Young children, especially infants, are at the stage where they don't know right from wrong and they can be impulsive. They may touch items that are valuable or dangerous. Usually, it is best to remove the child or the object from such a situation.
We don't believe you're to spank any at all because that's a part of coercive parenting, and we don't believe that coercive parenting works. So what we encourage you to do, though, is to be firm and to be consistent. So if it means you have to say, do this instead, or do not go there a million times, then that's what you have to be prepared to do.
The teenage years can challenge both children and parents. With the physical and chemical changes happening in the body, teens may act out as they may be unsure of their place in the world.
This can be a very difficult time to navigate. So we ask that you start relaxing some of the very stringent rules, and you also have conversations and you compromise.
And to address challenges, caregivers can remove privileges.
If the child becomes stubborn, has a fixed mindset, if you will, that this is what he or she is going to continue to do, then you might need professional help. You might need to call the commission, or you might need to call a social worker or a guidance counselor to help.
Being a proactive parent means setting clear boundaries, letting children know what is acceptable behaviors and why rules are in place. And don't forget to model behaviors you want young ones to display. There may not be a one-size-fits-all for raising children. By assessing the right information and using effective parenting techniques, we can nurture adults willing to play their part in making Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business. To tap into information from the National Parenting Support Commission, call 876-967-7977 or visit their offices at 37 Arnold Road, Kingston 6.
Child Month 2021 is all about soaring, striving to overcome your adversities with resilience. Here are 10 easy-peasy steps you can take to overcome any challenge you may be facing. I assure you that if you slowly take these steps, you are on the path to building a better you and a better Jamaica. Here goes. 1. Start out with a plan. 2. Do not mask your feelings if you're becoming overwhelmed. 3. Know that you're not alone. 4. Ask for help. 5. Accept help. 6. Help others. 7. Think big. 8. Maintain a positive mindset. 9. Don't give up. And 10. Work smart, not hard. You've got what it takes. You can do it. All the best. And that's all the information and motivation we have in store for you today on Jamaica Magazine. Thanks for sticking around for the entire program. For more useful information, just head on over to our website, jis.gov.jm. A plethora of videos, news stories, and features are there for you. While you're at it, why not follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram? Trust me, you will thank me later. I'm Audrey Williams, reminding you to soar. Have a great weekend.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.